Hello again. Today, we're going to talk about a tool you've probably heard of, but perhaps don't completely understand: virtual private networks, or simply VPNs. And let me tell you, understanding what a VPN is and when to use it can make a huge difference in your digital security. A VPN is basically a service that encrypts your internet connection and hides your IP address, making it look like you are accessing the internet from a completely different location. Before we dive into how it works and why it's useful, let me explain what an IP address is, because it is fundamental to understanding how a VPN works. Your IP address is like the physical address of your house, but in the digital world. It is a unique numerical label assigned to every device connected to the internet. When your computer, phone, or tablet connects to the internet, your internet service provider assigns you an IP address based on your geographical location. This address allows devices to identify each other and communicate. It is what makes it possible for that page to know where to send the information back when you request a website. But you might say, I never type in an IP address when I browse the internet, I type its URL. Yes, you are absolutely right. But the interesting thing is that when you type a URL, a service called DNS, or Domain Name System, appears, which has the function of translating the web address into an IP address. This is because it is easier for us humans to remember a domain name than an IP address. But all computers and digital devices communicate using IP addresses. Now, this IP address can be very useful. Websites and apps use it to give you content personalized to your location. For example, when you visit a news site, it can show you local news relevant to your area. When you search for a restaurant, it shows you options close to you. Similarly, weather sites use your IP to give you the forecast for your zone. All this is convenient and works automatically thanks to your IP address. But here is the other side of the coin. That same IP address also reveals information about you that you might not want to share. Advertisers use it to track you across the internet and create detailed profiles of your browsing habits. They can see what sites you visit, how much time you spend on them, what products you search for, etc. All this information is used to show you targeted ads, meaning ads that align with your interests. But it also means they are constantly monitoring your online activity. And what is most worrying is that this information, in the wrong hands, can be used to track you, to know your approximate location, or to launch targeted attacks against you. And this danger increases when you connect to unprotected public Wi-Fi networks, since anyone on that network can see your IP address and potentially intercept your internet traffic. And this is where the VPN comes in. When you connect to the internet through a VPN, your traffic doesn't go directly from your device to the websites you visit. Instead, it goes first to a secure server operated by the VPN service, and from there it connects to its final destination. It's like sending your mail through an intermediary in another city before it reaches its real destination. Is that not very clear? Don't worry, I'll explain it step by step. First, to access the VPN service, you have to install a VPN application on your device. This can be on your phone, your computer, your tablet, or any device. Then you create an account in the VPN app you installed and connect. When you activate the VPN, you choose a server from a list of locations. You can choose a server in the United States, in Mexico, Spain, or Korea, depending on your needs. Once connected, all your internet traffic is encrypted. This means it turns into unreadable code for anyone trying to intercept it. That encrypted traffic travels from your device to the VPN server you chose. The server decrypts the traffic and sends it to its destination on the internet, whether that is a website, a streaming service, an email service, etc. When the response comes back, the reverse process happens. It goes to the VPN server, gets encrypted, travels to your device, and your VPN app decrypts it so you can see it. The beauty of this is that for the website or service you are visiting, it looks like the request is coming from the VPN server, not from your device. So if you connected to a VPN server in London, websites will think you are browsing from London, no matter where you actually are. Your true IP address and your location remain hidden. But VPNs do much more than just encrypt your connection and hide your IP. Many VPN services include additional features like ad blockers and tracker blockers that prevent websites from monitoring your activity. Some also offer protection against malware, alerting you if you try to visit a site known for distributing malicious software. Additionally, there is also a very practical use that many people take advantage of: accessing content that is geo-blocked. Some streaming services offer different content depending on your country. With a VPN, you can connect to a server in another country and access that content. Now, it is important to point out that this might violate the terms of service of some platforms, so use it at your own discretion. Now, let's also talk about when you really need to use a VPN. The most important case is when you connect to the internet using public Wi-Fi networks. Remember, we already talked in previous videos about the dangers of public Wi-Fi networks in coffee shops, airports, and hotels. Those networks frequently don't have adequate security, and anyone connected to the same network can potentially intercept your traffic, see what sites you visit, and capture passwords if you aren't using secure connections. But when you use a VPN on public Wi-Fi, all your traffic is encrypted before it leaves your device. This means an attacker on the network can see you are sending data, but they cannot understand its content because the information is encrypted. They can't see what sites you visit. They can't capture your passwords. They can't intercept your sensitive information. It's like putting your conversation inside a safe before sending it through a public space. If you work from home or while traveling and access corporate systems, a VPN is absolutely essential. Many companies require you to use their corporate VPN to connect to internal resources. This creates a secure tunnel between your device and the company network, protecting confidential information while it travels across the public internet. Check with your technology department about your company's VPN policy. If they give you a corporate VPN, use it constantly, every time you access work systems from outside the office. You should also consider using a VPN if you are concerned about your online privacy in general. If you don't like the idea that your internet provider can see every website you visit, a VPN solves that problem. Your internet provider will only see that you are connecting to a VPN server, but they won't be able to see what you do once connected. If you live in a country or visit a place where certain websites or services are blocked by the government, a VPN can allow you to access the internet freely by connecting to servers in other countries where those restrictions don't exist. This is particularly important for journalists, activists, or anyone who needs uncensored access to information. Now, let me be very clear about something important. A VPN is not a magic solution that makes you completely anonymous or invincible online. It is a powerful tool, but it doesn't replace good cybersecurity practices. You still need to use strong passwords. You still need to enable two-factor authentication. You still need to be cautious with suspicious links and files. Remember, a VPN protects your connection, but it doesn't protect you from clicking on a phishing link or downloading malware. It is also worth mentioning that using a VPN can make your internet connection a little slower. This is because your data has to travel further, going first to the VPN server before reaching its final destination, and because the encryption and decryption process takes time. High-quality VPNs minimize this speed reduction, but it is something to keep in mind. When you choose a VPN service, there are several factors you must consider. First, the security feature. Not all VPNs are equal. Look for one that offers strong encryption, like AES 256, which is the same standard used by governments and militaries. It is also recommended that you use a VPN that has a strict no logs policy, which means they don't keep a history of your online activity. Speed is another important factor. As I mentioned, VPNs can reduce browsing speed a bit, but some are much worse than others. Quality VPNs invest in fast servers and infrastructure that minimizes speed loss. Server locations also matter. If you need to appear to be in a specific country, obviously you need a VPN that has servers in that country. But in general, more server locations mean more options and better performance because you can connect to a server that is geographically closer to you. And of course, price is a very important factor. Now, there are also free VPNs, but here is a saying in technology that is particularly relevant. If the product is free, you are the product. Many free VPNs finance themselves by selling your data to advertisers, which completely defeats the purpose of using a VPN. Others severely limit your speed or the amount of data you can use. Paid VPNs generally cost between $5 and $15 a month, depending on if you pay monthly or buy an annual subscription. It is a reasonable cost for the protection they offer. Some of the most respected and popular VPN providers include NordVPN, ExpressVPN, and CyberGhost. By the way, do you want to know which VPN I use? Well, I'll leave a link in the description for you to check out. But there are many other legitimate providers. Before choosing, do a little research. Read reviews and comments from reliable sources. Compare features and prices. Take advantage of free trials or money-back guarantees that many offer. The right VPN for you depends on your specific needs and your budget. Once you have chosen and installed a VPN, using it is generally very simple. You open the app, choose a server, press connect, and that's it. Many VPN apps have auto-connect options, where the VPN activates automatically when you connect to certain networks, like public Wi-Fi. This is great because you ensure you are always protected without having to remember to activate it manually. Now, let's talk about when you might not need a VPN. If you are at home connected to your own secure Wi-Fi network and you are simply browsing normal websites or watching videos, you probably don't need a VPN active all the time. Your home network, if configured correctly, as we discussed in the previous video, already offers a reasonable level of security. Now, although the VPN offers you great security advantages, you must also be aware that your VPN provider can see your traffic. That is why it is so important to choose a reputable VPN provider with a solid privacy policy, and that is in a jurisdiction with good data protection laws. You are trusting them, so make sure they are worthy of that trust. It is also important to remember that some websites and services try to block VPN use. Streaming services are particularly known for this because they want to enforce geographic content restrictions. If you find that a site doesn't work while you are connected to a VPN, you can try connecting to a different server, or simply disable the VPN temporarily for that specific site if you aren't handling sensitive information. In summary, a VPN is an extremely valuable tool in your cybersecurity arsenal. It protects you when using public Wi-Fi, hides your activity from prying eyes, allows you to access the internet freely, even in places with censorship, and generally adds a significant layer of privacy and security to your digital life. It isn't a perfect solution, it doesn't make you invincible, but when used correctly alongside other good security practices, it makes a big difference. If you don't use a VPN yet, especially if you frequently connect to public Wi-Fi or work with sensitive information, you should really consider adopting one. The small cost and slight inconvenience of installing and activating the VPN are worth it, as it will give you a higher level of peace of mind and protection. Your information, your privacy, and potentially your company's security deserve that investment. Take the time to research options, choose a reputable provider, install the app on all your devices, and get used to using it, especially in high-risk situations like public Wi-Fi. It is one of those steps that, once implemented, works silently in the background protecting you, and over time you won't even notice it's there. But when it really matters, when there is an attacker on that coffee shop network trying to intercept connections, your VPN will be the difference between being protected and being compromised.